Picture this. You've just spent 45 minutes preparing a healthy, balanced meal for your toddler. You cut the veggies perfectly, you set it down, and your child takes one look at the plate, shakes their head, and refuses to eat a single bite. Every caring parent has been there. You worry about their weight, you worry about their energy, and you do whatever it takes just to get some nutrients into their body because you love them. But here's something most parents never think about. When it comes to toddler growth, the biggest hurdles aren't the foods we are serving. It's the silent mealtime habits we are using to get them to eat. Research on early childhood nutrition shows that a toddler's natural appetite regulation is incredibly sensitive. Without realizing it, some of the most common things we do to encourage our kids to eat can actually backfire, disrupting their internal hunger cues and quietly making it harder for their bodies to grow at a steady, healthy pace. Today, we are counting down 7 common feeding mistakes well-meaning parents make, completely guilt-free. We'll explain the surprising science of how your toddler's metabolism actually works. And pay close attention to number 3 because it's a habit almost every parent uses to rescue a failed meal. But it might actually be the exact reason your child is refusing dinner tomorrow. 7. The just 2 more bites rule. Your child pushes their plate away, half their chicken still sitting there. You look at it, worry sets in, and you say, just 2 more bites. And then you can go play. It feels like a small, reasonable compromise to ensure they get enough protein before bed. Here's the reframe. Pushing for those extra bites changes the goal of the meal from satisfaction to compliance. Pediatric experts generally agree that toddlers are born with an incredibly accurate internal regulatory system for hunger. When we ask them to override that full feeling to make us happy, we accidentally teach them to ignore their own body's signals. Studies on child development have found that when children are consistently pressured to eat past their natural stopping point, it can lead to a sluggish metabolism and irregular appetite patterns over time. Try trusting their "I'm done," even if the plate still looks full. Their intake will naturally balance out over the week. 6. Shrimping the menu, serving only safe foods. It's been a long day, and you know they will eat chicken nuggets and French fries without a fight. To avoid a dinner-time meltdown and ensure they actually sleep, you find yourself serving the same 3 or 4 guaranteed meals every single week. This is a completely relatable scenario born out of pure exhaustion, but it can create a growth bottleneck. Research shows that a toddler's palate expands through repeated, pressure-free exposure to different textures and flavors. When we eliminate variety to keep the peace, their digestive tract misses out on the diverse micronutrients essential for bone density and physical development. Specialists note that it can take up to 15 exposures before a child accepts a new food. The fix: always keep one familiar item on the plate, but continue serving the family meal right alongside it, without forcing them to taste it. 5. Using dessert as a reward. If you finish your broccoli, you can have a cookie. It works like magic in the short term, and you finally get to see them swallow a green vegetable. But here is the gentle reframe. This instantly creates a hierarchy in your child's mind. The vegetable becomes the bad chore they have to suffer through, and the cookie becomes the good ultimate prize. Nutrition specialists point out that this psychological mechanism actually increases a child's preference for processed sugars while actively decreasing their enjoyment of whole foods. Over time, this can lead to a diet high in empty calories that fails to support steady physical growth. Instead, try serving a small portion of the treat right alongside the dinner, treating all foods as equal fuel. 4. Grazing on milk and snacks all day. Your toddler barely eats anything at breakfast, so an hour later, you offer them a pouch, some crackers, or a big cup of milk. You figure that some calories are better than no calories at all. This is an incredibly common routine, but it creates a cycle of constant grazing. Studies on toddler digestion show that their small stomachs need distinct blocks of time to completely empty and reset. When a child constantly sips milk or munches on snacks throughout the day, they are never truly empty. which means they never experience the sharp surge of healthy appetite needed to eat a full, nutrient-dense meal. Pediatric specialists note that excessive milk intake can also fill them up so much that they miss out on solid foods rich in iron, a critical mineral for muscle growth and energy. Establishing a predictable schedule of 3 meals and 2 snacks can completely transform their appetite. We have 3 more major mistakes to cover, including the number 1 habit that almost every family does that might be causing your toddler to reject dinner entirely. If you're finding this helpful, take a quick second to hit that subscribe button. 3. Becoming a short-order cook. Your child rejects the family dinner, so you immediately head back to the kitchen to fix them a separate meal, maybe some mac and cheese or toast, just so they don't go to bed hungry. Here's the refrain. While it feels like you're rescuing them, this habit tells your toddler that dinner is negotiable. Child development specialists note that toddlers quickly learn that refusing the first meal guarantees a preferred alternative. This dynamic limits their exposure to nutrient-dense family foods, which can lead to a deficiency in the varied vitamins and minerals essential for physical milestones. Experts suggest using the division of responsibility. You decide what and when to serve, and your child decides if and how much they eat. Knowing there isn't a backup meal encourages them to engage with the food already on the table. 2 constant mealtime distractions, the screen trap. To get your child to sit still and swallow their food, you prop up a phone or turn on the television. They eat mindlessly while staring at the screen, and the plate ends up completely clean. It feels like a major victory, but it disconnects the mind from the stomach. Research on early childhood development shows that eating while distracted bypasses the brain's recognition of satiety and digestion. When a child doesn't consciously experience chewing, tasting, and swallowing, their body doesn't process the meal's nutritional signals as effectively. Pediatric specialists have found that chronic distracted eating can lead to poor appetite control and irregular growth patterns later on. Try keeping mealtimes screen-free, keeping the focus entirely on the social and sensory experience of eating. 1. Forcing the clean plate club. This is the ultimate habit passed down through generations. Your child says they are full, but there are still 3 spoonfuls of rice and peas left. So you insist they finish everything on the plate before they can get down from the chair. The gentle reframe here is that a toddler's nutritional needs change drastically from day to day based on growth spurts, teething, and activity levels. Studies on child nutrition show that forcing a clean plate overrides a child's natural full response completely. When children are repeatedly forced to finish everything, their bodies stop relying on internal hunger cues and begin relying entirely on visual cues instead. Pediatric experts generally agree that this can lead to irregular eating patterns that impact long-term healthy weight and height development. Trusting their natural boundaries is the single best way to protect their growth. Adjusting these routines isn't about blaming ourselves or feeling like we've been doing it all wrong. Mealtimes with a toddler are incredibly intense, and every single habit we've talked about today comes from a place of deep love and a simple desire to keep your child fed. The absolute truth is that no parent handles every single meal perfectly, and your child is going to be completely fine. Growth is a long-term journey, not a single dinner. And the fact that you are looking for ways to improve shows what an amazing parent you are. Everything we covered today is completely fixable, and you can start fresh with a more relaxed, pressure-free table at your very next meal. If this video gave you a new perspective or a tip you want to try out today, please share it with another parent who might be stressed out by their own toddler's mealtimes. And if you want more practical, guilt-free strategies on child health and development every single week, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.